Murder for hire is a crime out of a movie, but the plot in this case was all too real. An Indian government employee directs an Indian national to assassinate a Khalistani leader on US soil sounds exactly like a crime out of a movie. That's what the FBI said about a detailed 15-page long indictment which charged an Indian with the orchestration of a plan to assassinate Sikhs for Justice founder and prominent Khalistani leader Gurpatwant Singh Pannun on American soil. The Southern New York United States Attorney's Office confirmed that the US has foiled a conspiracy to assassinate Pannun, and this comes months after Canada alleged that India was involved in the killing of one more Khalistani leader, Hardeep Singh Nijjar. From initial contact to surveillance, from global diplomacy to murder for hire, in this video we unpack the alleged conspiracy. But first, let us take a look at the 4 characters involved in this alleged plot. First, alleged Indian government employee also known as CC1, an Indian government staffer who resides in proximity to New Delhi and allegedly directed the assassination plot. He was referenced to have previously served in India's CRPF, and the US further alleged that at any point relevant to the plot, he was employed by the Indian government. Second, Nikhil Gupta, also known as Nick, a 52-year-old Indian national who was reportedly involved in international narcotics and weapons trafficking. Third, CS, or confidential source, an unnamed individual who Nikhil Gupta believed was a criminal associate but actually was a source working with the US's Drug Enforcement Agency. And fourth, UC, or Undercover, an unnamed purported hitman who was in fact an undercover DEA officer introduced to Gupta via CS. According to the US, in May this year, CC1, an Indian government employee, recruited Nikhil Gupta to arrange the assassination of Gurpatwant Singh Pannun. CC1 also reportedly told Gupta about a target in New York and another one in California. In return, CC1 promised to arrange the dismissal of a criminal case against Gupta in Gujarat. Gupta connected with CS, whom he believed was a criminal associate but turned out to be a source working with US law enforcement, in hopes of contacting a hitman to do the job. CS in return asked for $100,000 to undertake the task, but reports say that the Indian government staffer, also known as CC1, was willing to pay an even greater amount, close to $150,000, with the offer going even higher depending on the quality of work. CC1 then provided Gupta with the necessary surveillance footage and other details regarding Pannun, who in turn passed it down to CS and his team.
Finish him, brother. Finish him. Don't take too much time. Push these guys. Push these guys. Finish the job.
This is what Nikhil Gupta is said to have told CS, urging him to carry out the task as soon as possible. The attorney's office also added a purported image showing the advance payment received by CS, $15,000 to carry out the job, which Gupta is said to have given to UC, the undercover law enforcement officer pretending to be a hitman and CS's criminal associate. Gupta specifically and repeatedly instructed CS to refrain from killing Pannun during the 4 days in June when Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was to go to the US on an official visit. According to a press release, CC1 instructed Gupta not to carry out the assassination of the victim, that is Pannun, in the immediate lead up to or during the planned engagements between high-level US and Indian government officials. Gupta also told CS over a phone call that due to Pannun's public profile and the fear of protests if he is killed, the plot's stakeholders must calm down for 10 days. Further, CS was promised more jobs, close to 2 to 3 on a monthly basis if the plan to assassinate Pannun went well, and was also told that co-conspirators directing the assassination plot from India were closely monitoring the progress of the plotting. But here is where matters get interesting. Speaking to CS on a phone call on 12th June, Gupta mentioned a big target in Canada and asked for a good team in the country to carry out a killing. We are doing their job, brother. We are doing their New York and Canada job, Gupta is said to have told CS. Just 6 days after that phone call, Khalistani leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar was shot to death outside the Gurdwara in British Columbia, Surrey. In a conversation with CS just one day after Nijjar's killing, Gupta confirmed that Nijjar was the Canadian target previously mentioned. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau publicly blamed the murder on agents of the Indian government, causing a diplomatic row between the two countries. On 19th June, moving away from the earlier instructions to delay the plot to assassinate Pannu till after high-level talks were over, Gupta told CS to finish the job but cautioned him to be more careful following Nijjar's murder. What followed was an exchange of surveillance footage and other information connected to Pannu among Gupta, CC1, CS and UC, the four stakeholders in this plot. However, before the culmination of the plan, the US Attorney's Office said that Czech authorities arrested and detained Gupta on 30th June at the request of the United States. According to the indictment, Gupta, along with others known and unknown, were charged with the murder for hire to carry out the killing of Pannu, referred to as the victim.
Cooperation, the US side shared some inputs pertaining to nexus between organized criminals, gun runners, terrorists, other extremists. We take, of course, such inputs very seriously, and a high-level inquiry committee has been constituted to look into all the relevant aspects.
Bagchi added that a high-level committee has been formed to look into these allegations and further said that during a bilateral discussion, the US had shared inputs pertaining to a nexus between organized criminals, gun runners, terrorists and other extremists.